So HBAR has been in a correction over the past month, and on the move to the downside, we have had some bearish signals being triggered, with the first one being this death cross event that took place on Tuesday, the 26th of August, and that then led to the price of HBAR getting rejected at the 50 MA, and that then led to this deeper move to the downside where we breached past this level here at 22.55 cents. And so we had a breaker structure that was triggered, and that then confirmed that we were bearish. And so it looks like this move to the downside where I'm looking at for HBAR to tap into this range is in play, given that I'm tracking a WXY structure. And so it's very much possible that we are now within this Y wave. And if I zoom in, it looks like this Y wave is also made up of an internal WXY structure. So if I draw this out, this move here would be the W wave, this would be the X wave, and this would be the Y wave. And so what I'll do is check to see if this Y wave has met the typical range. So if I bring in the fib tool and bring this to 26.08 cents, and so the Y wave would typically reach anywhere between 1 to 1.226, and as you can see, we ended up tapping into that range. And so it's very much possible that we see a reversal to the upside. And you can see that in the past couple of hours, we have been on an uptrend. So what I do is actually go in the hourly chart just to see what's taken place. That doesn't really tell me much, so I'll drop down to the minute chart. And so what I'm looking at for right now is for an impulsive move. And if we do have an impulsive move, then that will then signal that we are on an uptrend. But as of right now, it does look like we had a corrective move that played out as opposed to an impulsive move, where this is the W wave, this is the X wave, and this is the Y wave. And we had another WXY structure that formed. And it looks like we had a WXY structure here. So what I do is I'll bring in the fib tool and bring this to 21.403 cents. And so again, the Y wave would typically reach anywhere between 1 to 1.226, and we ended up exceeding the 1.226 level, and we've actually exceeded the 1.6 level also. And so if I zoom into this move here, yeah, here it looks like we had a 5-wave structure that formed and a WXY structure. And this here would be the wave 1 and wave 2. So if I just very quickly bring in the fib tool to 21.472 cents. So we ended up exceeding the 1.6 level over here. So what I'm looking at for right now is for this here to be the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if I zoom in here, so the 5th wave would typically reach anywhere between 1.226 to 1.618 of the wave 4. So bringing this to over here, you can see that we ended up tapping into that range, as you can see. And so, yeah, if we continue to move to the upside, then it's very much possible that we are on an uptrend. But if I go back to the hourly chart, what you can see is the bulls are now slowly starting to lose that momentum. And so what I'm anticipating is a sell-off where people take profits, and that will then lead to a deeper move to the downside. And instead, what we'll witness is a bigger WXY structure that formed, where this here is X wave, and this move here would be the Y wave, and this would be the W wave. And so again, if I could drop down to the 15-minute chart instead, and bring in the fib tool. So if I bring this to 21.265 cents, so you can see that we haven't reached the 1.600 level, but we ended up exceeding the 1.226 level. And so we are bullish as it stands at the moment. But we have had a corrective move that played out as opposed to an impulsive move. And so, yeah, again, I'm looking out for the bears to regain control of the market at some point, which then lead to a deeper move to the downside. Now, as it stands on the hourly chart, we are bullish given the fact that we are hovering over the 200 DMA. So it is a good sign. For us to be bullish, then what we need is for the price of HBAR to exceed this level and continue to move to the upside. And if I go back to the 4-hour chart, again, you can see that the bulls are slowly starting to lose that momentum. And so Even though this is a good sign in the midterm and in the long term, short term, I'm a little bit wary and I'm anticipating a deeper move to the downside. And very quickly, if I go on the daily chart, what you can see is we are within the oversold conditions. And so we are on the brink of actually bottoming out. And so at some point, I'm looking at for HBAR to breach past this local top and continue to move to the upside, where I'm anticipating the price of HBAR at some point to tap into this range here between $2 to $5, given that what I'm tracking at the moment is a bigger double XR structure, where this is a W wave, this is the X wave, and this is the Y wave. And so if I remove this fib tool, it's very much possible that we have a three-wave move forming within this Y wave, where this move to the upside from the W wave, this move to the downside from the X wave, and it looks like we're now within a Y wave. And so, yeah, short term, we have been bearish, but in the midterm and in the long term, I'm still bullish, and I'm still looking at for HBAR to continue to move to the upside rather than tap into this range. But of course, that's something I'm going to be tracking in days and weeks to come, and I'll keep you guys updated. And so, yeah, that's just my update on HBAR. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you did, then feel free to hit the like button, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.